Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, and I'm going to do a little flip through of a journal I've been working in. So this is kind of my first ever foray into junk journaling stroke record keeping in a junk journal, and I made up 4 signatures that I popped into this thing, and we've got one for basically each season, or each quarter of the year. So we've got, ignore the Christmas one at the back because that's just here for safekeeping. So we've got this one here, which will be for October, November, December. This one that will be for July, August, September. This one that will be for April, May and June. As you can see, I've got some photos randomly just placed in there. And then this is my January, March one, but you can see the difference. So this is already, well, this is finished now, so it's super chunky and sort of the same width as the others, plus the Christmas one that's sort of like a work in progress. So I thought I'd do a quick flip through. The pages are made out of just random stuff that I had in my stash. There isn't anything that was bought for it, and there's also some bits and pieces in here that are actually from other people. So I covered the front cover of this particular signature in some Art by Marlene collage papers, because they're really thin papers and I really love the pattern on this one. It's just, in fact, if I just fold it out, you can see it's just glorious in terms of the colours. And then on the front, I actually added a heart that I'd been gifted at some point in a swap, but I thought it worked perfectly. And then I've just popped the little stickers on January, March 21, just to indicate that that's what this journal's about. And you'll see there's lots of different styles in here because I've really been experimenting and working out how I want journals to work for me in this sense. So this has got a few gifted bits and pieces. We've got some sewn pieces. We've got lots of washi tape going on. And this is just a little tag indicating that this is my first ever junk journal and what the plan is for the year. So you can see here I was starting to experiment with pockets and lots. I basically threw the kitchen sink at it, basically. Probably not how some of the later pages look. Now, can I just say I didn't also work on this in order, so it's not from the beginning to the end. That's not chronological order. I've just picked a page, started working on it. So there's different styles throughout, and it's not, as I said, in chronological order. Then I've got in here some bits and pieces that I was just basically using up and having fun playing. Again, there was no rhyme or reason to it. Some of it was things that I made, so some of them are like more art journal-y pieces. Some of them are just random pieces of paper. But basically this was the first pocket that I made, and then the pocket I've inserted into the journal using washi tape. You can see the washi tape on either side. This was actually something that I was gifted at some point, and again, no idea what it actually says, so I'm sincerely hoping it's nothing offensive, and I'm also hoping I've put it the right way up, because again, it could be the other way up. I have no idea, and I apologise for not knowing. Culturally inappropriate probably to use it, I don't know. And then this page was all about new washi tape that I bought. So I bought some Van Gogh washi tape, and I just wanted to include bits and pieces of it. I mean, this tape in particular I adore. Let me grab you. You can see here it's actually quite a wide washi tape, and I just love it. But I bought a whole box of different washi tapes that were all these Van Gogh ones, and I just wanted to document that. In fact, here's some of the packaging that shows you all of the washi tapes that were in the packaging. So that's what this page is about. And again, just grabbing random stuff from my stash. Now, this is actually an art journal page that's been done not in an art journal, on an actual standalone piece of cardstock, and I've just stuck it in. I did this at the beginning of January. It says the 3rd, but I'm not sure if I did it on the 3rd or the 13th. But anyway, beginning of January, and it's just an art journal page that I just fancied using up and putting in here. Now, this page is all about Happy Mail, and there is actually another page later on that's about Happy Mail too. And this has just got some random bits and pieces, and again I'm using up papers from within the stash and scraps, and it's got things like little inches that people have given to me. This one here is an artist trading coin, and I'm going to flip ahead now just so you can see the other page. So this is actually another page that I did all at the same sort of time with all the Happy Mail that I'd received. And this was actually Happy Mail that I received all in one swap, where the theme was blues, and then there was also a coin that fitted in, and then inches that fitted in. And I just wanted to really capture them and the fact that Happy Mail always cheers me up. So those two pages were sort of done at the same time, but very different feel to them, but the same theme. Again, I'm going to talk about this page first. This page was all about, again, art journaling, throwing things at it, and a real vintagey feel. Now, I actually did this page in December, but I've included it in here just because I wanted to use it somewhere, and this seemed like the most appropriate place to put it. This is where I've started to feel a little bit more like I know what I'm doing and what I want to do with this journal. So this is about documenting what real life was going on in January, February, and March. So this was a little look in my new office. I actually had to go and change my laptop for a new laptop, so I got the excuse to go leave the house during this lockdown to go to the office to go and pick up the new laptop and have a little nosy at our new office. So this is the foyer area in our new office, and I was super impressed with how it looks. We used to work in a terrible brutalist, unpleasant grey monstrosity that was falling to pieces with damp stains, flood stains, peeling paper off the walls, carpet tiles that were mismatched with yellow tape all over them. Just awful office. So to go into something that was so swanky and special, I really wanted to document this. And obviously you can see here I'm also wearing my face mask and doing a little mini selfie, but mainly trying to capture the architecture, but reflecting on the fact that actually we are in a position where I'm in the new office, but I'm still having to wear face masks in order to be there just for 20 minutes. So that's those. So these are again two completely contrasting styles as I'm trying to work out how I want to do things, and this is where I'm experimenting with sort of like fold out pieces and just layers, very much using a little bit more of the style that Life with Lisa or It's Only Paper. They're the two YouTube channels that she runs, but Lisa, who owns the Lollipop Box Club, sort of some of her styles but mixed a little bit with more of my art journaly type things. So this was documenting Valentine's Day, where we got a fabulous cheesecake that my friend made and we ordered from her, from Emma's Kitchen in Warrington. For anybody who's from Warrington and wishes to order Emma's Kitchen, look her up on Facebook. Amazing cheesecake. But also I had some new snag tights, which have got love hearts on, that I saved to wear on Valentine's Day. In fact, I need to wear those again now, not just wear them on Valentine's Day, but they were quite special. And I just basically put those little stickers on and bits and pieces. Punched out some hearts, added some glossy accents, and in the background was actually a napkin that I wanted to use up a little bit of, and a bit of stenciling, and just, I love that page, even though it says very little apart from Valentine's Day. Now this is a very different kind of thing. So this was me experimenting with pockets and sewing and lots of stickers and bits and pieces. And what I ended up documenting was lockdown fashion statements, because we've all had some interesting fashion statements during lockdown. Oh, I've just realised that has come off and I don't know where it belongs. Let's go there. Kisses. Probably needs a bit more glue. Some of these stickers don't stick particularly well, so I probably, in fact, I think, stick that up there. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so you see, this is the kind of attitude I've got to it. That'll do, because it's a junk journal and it doesn't have to be precise and wonderful, so I'm really enjoying the freedom that this is giving me. So yeah, lockdown fashion statements, we've all had some interesting ones, so I decided to journal about the two different styles. So we've either got the staying in my PJs all day, although I must admit at this point I had actually blow dried my hair, so it actually looks far better than I normally did. But yeah, the PJs days, and then you've got the glam days where you just feel like you need to dress up for no reason at all other than the fact that you've not dressed up for ages. So I wanted to journal about that. But I love these pockets, well, flaps and fold outs and more interactive pages. It's really fun, but it does add bulk. So you kind of have to be aware of the fact that if you're going to add these things into your journal, they're going to start bulking up. So this is actually the last page that I did in my journal. It was my daughter's 15th birthday in March. So she had a lockdown birthday for Maya. And these were pictures that I actually put on Facebook, and it sort of documents a little bit her journey from being the cutest little cutie pie of a girl, baby girl, up to this grown up young lady, age 15, and I feel ridiculously old when I think that she's 15. So again, I went and sort of, because this was the centre of the journal, I decided to sort of mirror a little bit the outside in terms of using the Art by Marlene, but also it allowed me to cover up the sewing element. I quite fancied doing that. A little bit of documenting, but to be honest, I just let the photos do most of the work. And then some washi tape along the edge and 2 underneath the 15 stickers. Yeah. So this one here was to document all of those late night splurges that I've been having. But try to be good with money over the last couple of years and not buy things unnecessarily. But I found in lockdown I am buying things. It's probably out of boredom more than anything, but I'm hoping that most of them are sensible things that I've bought in the end. So this, I love these. So these are actually my face wipes. I've been making much more of an effort with my face care, skincare, but going through ridiculous amounts of cotton pads. So I purchased some reusable ones, which are brilliant, and I love them all the time. This is actually my new journal cover, which came from New Moon Notebooks, which is this particular one that this signature will belong in. The pink bag is actually from some snag tights, that those possibly even those heart ones, and here we've just got, like, for example, some of the names of the snags, some of the other things and where I've bought them from. I just wanted to keep some of that just to recognise that I was doing that. And the smile part is because, sorry, it's all got a bit stuck. The smile was actually a die that I bought in a late night thing, but I don't regret that one in the slightest, because I bought 2 dies, both that said smile, because that's my word of the year. Right, this one I kept really simple. I didn't want to do very much because it's quite a large photograph, and this was a really lovely snowy experience. We don't get a huge amount of snow in Warrington, in Cheshire. It's quite a warm area, partly due to pollution probably, but this January we had a lot of snow, and on this particular night it suddenly started snowing at about 8:30. Hadn't been snowing all day. Don't think it was forecast to snow particularly. I looked outside the window, prompted by something that somebody said on a Zoom call actually, to say, oh, it's snowing. I was like, no. Looked out, and it was the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen in terms of how thick and how fast it was coming down. So I told my daughter, and she immediately, please can we go out? Please can we go out for a walk in it? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, go on then. Let's go for a walk in it. Sort of thing that I would normally say no to, and I'm trying my hardest, especially in the lockdowns, to sort of say yes and do things that were a bit different, just to break routines really. And it was the most magical experience. I've never been in a snowstorm that was like that. It was so beautiful, and just, it filled me with joy and magic. So I've documented about that. It's gone very wrinkly because I used a wet glue, unfortunately. Shouldn't have used a wet glue, never mind. It's gone very wrinkly, but I just added a bit of texture as well. I added a bit of stenciling just in the background, and a little bit of washi tape, and then some stickers. So kept it really simple. This one's a bit different. This is actually about a new logo that I created. So I created a logo. I couldn't sleep one night, faffed around on my phone, created a new logo for my website, which is, if you don't know, www.inkyfingeredcat.me. And I just wanted to document that I'd done that. So these, actually, this is something that I also discovered in January, was I have borrowed and purchased my own paper for my daughter's sprocket and started using my daughter's sprocket. Do you know what, that's really not sticking and it's annoying me. Let's grab a little bit of glue, see if we can get it to stick. Yeah, my daughter got a sprocket for Christmas a couple of years ago and she used up the paper and then had no real interest in buying more as a priority. So I said, oh, have you still got your sprocket? Can I use your sprocket? So we came to a deal that I would buy paper for it and that she could also use some of the paper, but the paper's mainly mine. So I think that's quite a good deal personally. So yeah, so that picture is actually a sprocket picture. So that was something that happened. I've already shown you my Happy Mail picture. And we're at the end of the journal now. And this one documents my first COVID jab. And this I used, I think this was the first page I did using the Lollipop Box Club kits. So I've got little tags underneath here that I've got the journaling on. And little bits from the kit. And I did add a few extra bits. So I've added a little bit of washi that was my own washi. But yeah, really love the Lollipop Box Kit Club. The Lollipop Box Club kits. So I used lots of bits and pieces from that and documenting my first jab, which was an amazing experience. Made me super, super happy. Unfortunately also made me really poorly for 36 hours, but I don't care. It's a vaccine and I'm really happy I've had it, so I don't care. And then this is another thing that's obviously something that happens in the joys of lockdown, is we have no hairdresser allowed. As it is, my lovely hairdresser's just had a baby girl, so she's on mat leave anyway, so I wouldn't have been seeing her, but I would have seen her at the beginning of January if it hadn't been for lockdown. So my hair was desperately in need of colour because the roots were awful and the grey was awful. So I just wanted to document the fact that Maya turned into a hairdresser and helped me to colour my hair. I think she just enjoyed shaping my hair into different shapes, which was fine. But she actually did a decent job of giving it a reasonable coverage, so it looks okay. And as you can see, my sewing is terrible. I don't know what happened with my machine that day, but it just decided to snag everything. Possibly I was trying to do too much in terms of the layers of the card and the paper and the lace, but do you know what, I don't mind the messy look. So there you go, there's my first little journal flip through of my junk journal and the way that I think I'm going to use it. So I think it's going to end up being more this sort of thing and maybe a bit of that, maybe something like that in future, and I probably won't do art journaling as such in it, and I probably won't go completely overboard like I did right at the beginning. I'm probably going to be a little bit more restrained in future, but I really, really love the experience of doing this. I'm hoping I'll keep it up for full year. Obviously I've done the full year's worth of signatures ready. In fact, let me just now, whilst I think on it, although I don't quite know where my thing's gone, I seem to have lost my I've lost the elastic band that's meant to help with keeping this in place. But actually what I might do is just take the next signature out ready, because next week is the 1st of April, and 1st of April is when we will start the next one. So what I might do is have a little play. I do need to tidy up, but you know, I'm feeling creative and feeling like I want to do something. We've got some different, I'll just actually show you what we've got in here. So I'm using a complete mixture of stuff. So we've got some reasonably thick, this is sort of like a watercolour paper, but it's quite it's reasonably thick, which is why I've used it as the cover. I've got some red cardstock that's just a little bit short. I've got some beautiful patterned paper, which was actually a drawer liner. No, there's absolutely no scent left in it, but it was originally a drawer liner. Again, we've got a few crinkled brown paper bag. It was a brown paper bag page. Got another piece of that cardstock that's quite thick. So we're not talking massive numbers of pages. And you can see here, these are actually pockets that I got. Oh, forgot to say that actually. The final page was actually the background, and the tag and everything was actually something that somebody had gifted me on a swap. So that's where that came from. And this is from that same swap. So let me just show you. What I wanted to do was just to put the swaps in somewhere. So all I've done for the moment is just washi tape this in. But you can see there's actually loads of bits of ephemera in there already that I can use when it comes to decorating it. So I'm just going to leave that as it is for the moment, but it came from a swap. So that's my ready for me to start for the April, May and June pages. So I'm not talking about documenting something every day or every week even. It's just some of the key things that happen that I feel like I want to document. They're the things that are going to go into this. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to see more. I don't think I actually documented creating any of these in my YouTube channel. Pretty much most of them are on a blog post somewhere, even if not all of them, but most of them are. But if it is something that you'd like to see me doing, sort of like more of this kind of journaling, what I have been documenting on my channel is I have done some of the Christmas pages. There you go, that's one of the Christmas pages definitely that I have journaled on this channel. So some of these have appeared, and also the other journal that I'm pretty sure I've put something up, is my other junk journal, which is actually out of an altered book, which is journaling things to make me smile. See, that's that die that I did buy and documented having bought. But yeah, so that I think is on my channel. Don't think I've documented any of the others that were in this page, so maybe I ought to do more of it. I have recently been doing nothing but journaling, so I do need to stop that and do something different because I'm obsessed with it. But I'm just loving how chunky this all is and how it fits. In fact, I'm gonna have to just, oh, that's as far away as you can go, but you can just see how ridiculously chunky that is. I mean, there is an extra journal in here. The Christmas journal shouldn't be in here. It needs its own little cover at some point, but I haven't got round to doing anything with that. I've worked out where my elastic band had disappeared. It's broken. Do need to find a better way of doing that and not just elastic bands at some point, but not at the moment. Right, I have waffled enough at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed that, and until next time, bye bye.